This podcast is for a mature audience and may be viewed as inappropriate or insensitive to some. Listener discretion is advised. The intention is to share conversation of like and unlike-minded individuals as they try to be the best them they can be in a life full of challenges, searching for love, acceptance, and positivity. Call 669-241-1422 and share yourself or catch up with SweetBaby Jay for an anonymous face-to-face interview. Feel free to call in with questions, stories, thoughts, or anything you would love to talk about and share. Nothing is off the table when talking sweet with SweetBaby Jay at 669-241-1422.
Ladies and gentlemen, gents and ladies, once again, you are here talking sweet with SweetBaby Jay. As always, a no-face, no-case scenario. I set up today here in Lake Eola, just not knowing what's going to happen. I get two beautiful people walk up and say, "What are you doing?" Ladies and gents, would you guys like to share your names or not?
We share our names. I'm Ray Preston Denton.
You gonna give the whole full?
Damn.
Name?
Yeah.
You want to give your social security?
Yeah, because it was a
too?
big deal, by the way, to change my name.
Really? Wait. Why
Yeah.
was it a big deal to change your name?
It was a big deal from Preston to Denton because I come from a big family. And my father was really big. We're big on our name. We're Preston from South Florida. It was tons of family, cousins. Preston was a big deal in South Florida. We were farmers.
Oh.
We come from a long line of farmers.
What did
And
you
then
guys farm?
Agriculture. So we farmed. I can't remember.
You ain't never done a day of farming in
I
your
didn't do a
life.
day of farming, but my family
That
did.
was before her time.
That was before my time.
Yeah.
So that's all right. My family did farming, so I didn't have to.
Exactly.
So I didn't have to. My dad was in the military, and Preston was a big deal. Shout out to all the Prestons down south. Ooh, Hope Sound, Florida. And so I met my husband, and he didn't understand why I didn't want to change my name.
Oh.
But after 20 years, I did.
After 20 years, you changed your name?
Yeah, I did. For him.
That meant something for you that she didn't want to change her name, right?
It did.
No, I just told her that.
No, he was like, you don't even got my last name.
No, I just said
Nobody
I'm
knows
single.
we're together.
I'm single then.
He's like, I'm single. Nobody knows we're together. I was
Yeah,
like,
I'll just be single.
all right,
then.
Jay. Okay, Jay.
Oh.
All right, so I did that for him last
But
year.
the thing is, though, is I didn't want her to change her name, but hyphenate it. See, the thing is, we're a mixed couple, clearly.
Okay.
And what happens is, because even though the world has come a long way when it comes to mixed couples,
There's a long way to go.
they still seem like they still assume they don't assume we're together. So having different last names, then all of a sudden
it makes it worse.
be boyfriend and girlfriend because there's no way that y'all could be married because as
wasn't feeling
progressive
that.
as the world want to be, it's still got a long way to go. And
I agree.
And you know, the last 4 years of politics should tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? So it was more or less like we're going into schools for our kids and stuff like that. And these folks that don't really get it, it was more or less just having a unified family.
Yeah, we want to unify
So I wanted
family.
her to keep her last name, but we needed to have like a hyphenated
Let them know.
family last name.
Let them
You know
know.
what I mean?
You was like, yo, listen, we here, but we here. Let them know that I'm here too.
Yeah, well,
Yes. And then after a while, I understood his mindset. So I said, okay, I'll do that.
and let's keep it real. Like in 2021, I'm not on that traditional like the wife got to do X, Y, Z. It was just the family being together, locked in. That's all.
Even
it
if
is.
it was on paper, it still has to. And I feel you on that.
That's it.
I have a friend who he actually took his wife's last name.
That was an option too for us. Like,
Oh.
he actually said, let's do this. The most important thing was that we're unified.
Yeah, I honestly don't overly care. Like I said, it's not any traditional chauvinistic crap at all.
The unification was
Yeah,
more
you know,
important
we're
above
kinda-
everything else was that.
We're a blended, mixed family, and I mean, not to sound funky about it, but I feel like we're kind of like the future. We're like where America's supposed to be, where we together.
No, I am. Listen,
know.
you can sound as funky about it as you like. I like it, and I think it's true. My wife said to me, the only way that we won't have the issues that we've had over the years is when everybody's mixed.
And eventually, it's going to happen that
That's
way. Now,
You can't hide. You
we
can't
also-
run from it.
We
Yeah.
also know that then everybody will just find something else to be. Oh, what religion are you? Oh,
Yeah, it'll be something
Yeah.
else.
It's
But
always
right
something.
now,
But
Like,
in
ooh,
terms
you
of
got gray hair. I ain't messing with them gray hair
Right.
people.
oh, you rocking a beard now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
So
It's funny. So you mentioned that rocking the beard. How is that wearing a mask with the beard? I see people with these beards, and the masks are like out here, and the
Yeah.
beard. How
That's
is
how
that?
mine
The
is.
best thing for the
Mine
beard
comes out the
is
bottom.
the bandana. So you can rock a bandana.
But you look like you're going to murder everybody.
But that was the thing. So I was like, people looking at you like they're scared of you.
I was menacing.
He was too menacing. He's got a bald head. So the beard. So he just went back.
What's up with the bald head thing? Come on, I'm with you on that, brother.
Y'all scary. Scary.
Yeah,
Bald head. You guys like, I don't care about hair.
Even though, it's becoming more commonplace, at the end of the day, we're just a little bit more gangster with it. Like, I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
How often do you shave your head?
Well, it used to be Mach 3 blades every 3 days.
Every 3 days?
I just recently, honestly, in the last 2 weeks, I finally got me a little
Norelco.
electric razor.
Norelco.
And it went from taking I timed it about 12 minutes to shave my head correctly to it takes a minute and a half. Every morning I wake up, gets right back down to good. Minute and a half is the best purchase I made in a really long time.
And we are not being currently supported by Norelco, but they can reach out, and I am all in. I shave my head every day, sometimes twice a day.
With a razor?
With a razor. I cannot stand hair at all.
My suggestion to you is, I don't know which razor you use, but I use Mach 3s.
I use some 5-blade razor. Yeah. The shit is crazy.
I've used 5s, but I've found that 3s are fine. Because I've been shaving my head. So I've been shaving my head since I was 23.
Okay.
And because the first time I shaved my head was the night before we got married.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was buzzing it with the clippers. But for the wedding, I was like, you know what?
2002, y'all.
The point is, though, is the blade is better by far. But for somebody like you that you say you like to maintain it, I can, I went to Sam's Club for $99, but you could be driving down the street on your way home from work. I can't do that. You say that.
You got to try
I say
it.
that too.
You're right.
No,
listen.
Listen. This lady had been telling me for years, you should try it. And I was like, nah, I can't do that, just like you.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I said, it's such a good deal. Let me just try it. It's like the 3-banger with the 3 blades,
yeah.
The 3 big ones. And now I can literally be on my way somewhere, just driving.
And their motto is as close as a blade or your money back.
Well, I'm not trying to pick them up like
close
that.
as a blade or your money
Right.
back.
Wow.
But I will say that it's kind of real dope. It's kind of a game changer for me.
I'm going to have to give it a shot. Ladies and gents, if you're out there using this piece of equipment, let me know.
And it doesn't have to be the brand I said. There's a lot of brands that have those 3. Because
I've tried them before. And
you didn't like them?
Well, that was a long time ago. That was a very long, 20 years ago.
The technology.
The technology's better.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe the technology have changed to a point where they can do I'm going to give it a shot because these blades get expensive.
So you know how you said sometimes you do twice a day?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you shave your head in the morning, and by the afternoon, if you're like me, it's already coming up.
Yeah.
So the point is that point right before it comes up, this little razor will get you there. So my point is you can still use the razor, the traditional razor, but that little guy could just keep you maintained.
Young lady, this is maybe a little intrusive, right? So I know ladies are here waxing, and we are not talking about their heads.
Yeah.
They get in the Brazilian.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I've seen dudes do it on their heads.
I have too.
You've done it?
No. I've seen the dudes.
Oh, bro, I was like, wait, how did that feel?
No, my homeboy did it. He said it's great.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
It looks very painful.
So he said it's not really that serious. You got to let your hair grow out a little bit so it can catch. So somebody like you that does not want that, you got to let it grow.
I can't do it.
I know. So the only way you can pull it off, but he said that once you wax it, you could damn
It takes
near go
a
month.
while, yeah.
You could damn near go a month without having to shave your head.
And
It's
then the
perfect for a
hairs
month.
that do grow after you wax are sharper. So then when they go through the surface, it you don't get razor bumps or anything like that.
Look, for the ladies out there, because I don't know anything about when a woman does a Brazilian. I actually don't really like it. But is that the same way for a woman? Hair grows back less when you wax?
It's not that it grows back less. It just grows back less intrusive. When you cut it with a razor, it cuts like a mature hair at the surface. So it cuts it, lops it off. But when you wax it, it takes out the whole hair follicle. And then when it grows, like a new piece of a plant growing, it just comes up. It's sharp, so it's pointy, so it's real smooth. And it doesn't.
Sounds painful.
It doesn't have a bump growing or anything like that, so it's smooth.
Yep, I never did it. But I had my homeboy trying to tell me that's what's up, though.
It's nice.
Me, the little clipper,
And
I'll stick to that.
And it lasts longer.
Sheesh, it sounds painful.
Nice and smooth.
So you guys have been enjoying each other for many of years.
Yep.
One thing that I always say is that everybody's in a rush to get married, but people don't know what it takes to stay married.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
What was the toughest thing for you guys as far as not just being married, but staying married, or even in the getting married? What was the toughest thing that you guys had to get through? Like infidelity, finance, past, family. What was the hardest thing for you guys?
Our dreams, we have separate dreams. So the hardest thing was to figure out what we're going to do about our individualism. Well, I don't know about other people, but we're both very creative people. He's a music man, and I'm an artist.
Man.
So we had to, well,
Like that. You like
you're
that?
a music man.
Music man.
He is a music. You are a music man.
I
Don't
guess
even
I'm a
play.
music man.
Don't even try me. But he is. So everything to do with music, and it's hard to make that connection to go our separate ways. So especially me, I'm just like very spontaneous. He is not spontaneous.
So he needs more to plan.
He's
and
like a
you're
planner. He's the provider for our family, which I have to
That's not
give
always
it to him.
true, though.
He's a provider. He's a
In terms of
planner.
the planner.
You are. Okay. He is a planner. All right.
Well,
He's a provider.
I'm a strategist.
Okay, so he don't like
I don't know if
my.
that's the same
See what I'm
thing.
saying? He don't like my terms. So he's a strategist.
I play chess.
He
in the
plays
world.
chess.
There you
He's
go.
Strategy.
Even with that, right, saying that he's a planner, you're not. Different people come together. Different personalities come together. Did you know that you guys had even that difference when you guys got together?
From the very jump, from the first beginning.
And did you appreciate it?
Yes.
Well, let's back up.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know what she's talking about, but when we first started hanging out, we were 18 years old.
18.
18.
Teens.
And we were playing like video games together. And we
Okay,
had a
yeah,
very,
you're right.
very similar personality.
So we had a.
There was a lot of differences, but there
You
was
have to
a
have
lot-
something in common. At least one. All right. So ours was video games, technology,
and music.
and music.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of kept us going, and he respected my personality, and I respected his.
Dope.
So that's important. You have to respect their personality as long as you're. And we were friends,
That's the
you
thing.
know. So when we're going through ups and downs, which we did, thinking of a 20-year lifetime together,
A lot of ups and downs.
a lot of ups and downs. But then when there's too many ups and downs, and then you can step back and say, "This is a friend of mine, and I'm not going to do that to my friend." Or if you make mistakes, you can go back, fall back on a friendship. Friendship is very important.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
If you know the dating phase where you're faking it to be on a date,
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
put your best foot forward.
and sometimes it's not even your real foot forward.
Is your fake foot forward.
when we were so young that it was our like core raw personality.
Who you are.
So we were just like
Just being.
homies
Yes.
at first.
Yeah.
So like we already knew that was a cool person. So ups and downs through 20 plus years,
Yeah.
at least we can always revert.
We
to,
can always fall
we
back
don't
on our
like
friendship.
Tons of the same stuff. We're not like we're opposites on some levels, but the same on others. You know what I mean? So
So look, we're gonna get down and right and dirty here for a little bit. How long you guys been together?
24 years.
24 years. 24 years of being with the same person.
Yeah.
How do you guys keep it spicy?
Well,
do you-
number one, we're attracted to each other. Attraction.
That's a big deal.
So we're attracted, and we don't let ourselves slip up too much. You know, I'm really attracted to you.
Well,
You know, that's
You know
important.
what's funny? I don't know if it comes down to like, I mean, it might be corny
And
sometimes
then
to say
our-
soulmates,
and
right?
then our roles.
But like, it hasn't been a major that spiciness hasn't been a struggle for us. We've had a million other struggles, but that's never really been a struggle.
See, the reason why I asked that question, I've been married 12 years. We've been together 15. And I would be lying if I said when we were there and I'm like, how long is this going to last? Because personally, knowing who I was, and there's been a lot of growth within myself, I was like, man, I cannot see myself being with only one person for all these years. And being realistic, I was like, I just don't see another human being making that choice to only be with one person for the rest of their life.
We didn't have that problem. The attraction is there, but how you treat somebody, if you make somebody feel like they're important to you, you know, what they say matters, and you treat the other person like a king or a queen, that's the most important thing. that'll keep you that'll keep you with somebody forever, to me, in my mind.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. It is definitely about the treatment. So I asked the question, what was the biggest struggle? You said that wasn't a struggle. So what was the biggest struggle for you? Oh, wait. For you.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you the biggest struggle for me. I'm super real and super raw. So the thing about me is we did come from kind of different worlds, and my default is harsh and mean and terrible, okay? And then this lady's default is nice and butterflies, flowers. So what happens is I feel like 20 plus years of struggle has been me trying to not be super harsh and I'll punch that dude in the face and all of that.
I feel you.
That's been it's funny, I was just talking about this today. I have a default factory reset
Like
setting.
you choose anger when it's like.
Yes.
Yeah.
He chooses anger and harsh. Like he feels like the world is out to get you, so you got to be above that. You got to be like first
on the defensive.
You got to get the world before the world gets you.
So you want to know what's funny? As somebody that's from New York, so
You probably have the same mentality.
My family, I'm first generation Floridian, and my family's from New York and New Jersey. So even though I didn't grow up in New York and New Jersey,
they brought that mentality
I had
down.
My grandmother and my grandfather and all these folks. So I kind of grew up with this.
The mindset.
Kill or be killed
the mindset
attitude.
is no new friends that don't know you. That's how it is.
See, it's strange you
and
say
then that
that.
spills over to me being kind of I could be like a naked.
Go-
And
Yes.
then therefore it spills over, and then I spend a lot of time like apologizing for it. To me, that you're asking my struggle. My struggle is myself trying to deal with my own bullshit, and being a little bit of a cooler person. Because in all honesty, in all reality, I'm cool enough. Like, meaning I'm a good person. Like, I'm a solid. I feel like I fight for what's right in the world. But all this extra stuff gets in the way and gets me real cynical. And then I'll end up having conflicts with this one.
He doesn't trust a lot of people. Like the trust level is out. There's no trust. He
But I
doesn't
respect
trust
that
nobody.
because I'm like that. So my whole thing is I'm all about family. Now, there are friends. It's funny. You got the family tattoo.
From New York?
No, somebody said that is like the biggest tattoo.
That's the New York default tattoo.
Yeah, like holy shit. My man got the family tat.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know.
Oh, you guys are dog fans. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's something I'm not about. I'm like, yo, get your dog out of here. like
I like dogs, just don't bite.
Yo, he'll bust a dog up too.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Well, they got to act right, that's all.
No, my thing is like, so as I said, ladies and gents, we're here in Lake Eola, and somebody just walked up with their dog that wanted to be incredibly over-friendly, if you ask me. My thing is, you don't know if I like dogs. One of my daughters is allergic to dogs.
Right.
You ask me. Don't just let your dog, get out of here with that. But that's just me.
Hey, but on the real, though, he let his dog put his nose on my straw.
I'm not about that. I'm not about
See what I'm saying?
See,
Like,
I
I feel you.
have a huge problem with that. Whew, okay. Oh, man. So, and trusting people, I feel you because I always say I trust people as far as I can throw them. I trust people as far as I can throw them.
There you go.
And the unfortunate reality is sometimes you even have to treat family like that.
Sadly.
Oh yeah, sadly.
For me, I trust everyone until you show me that I can't trust you.
That's a solid way to be.
Yeah, and then it's not that we have a problem. I just know how to maneuver with you.
You know the box that they're in. Oh, you in that category.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And,
I thought you were here, but you there.
No.
Uh-huh.
It's not that I thought you were here, but you put yourself there.
Fair enough.
And I'm cool with it, but it's just you now know how to maneuver with people. Because I see it as I got to protect myself.
Yeah.
And me and mine alike. And so I fully understand that. The biggest struggle you had to go through was the struggle within yourself.
If I could just relax, we would never have a problem. 100% of the problems that I have with this person is me just the way I am. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it. She does not understand what it's like to come up kind of poor.
But do I need to
kinda
understand
in the
that though?
streets,
But do I really?
Kind of like
I'm
kill
gonna
and be
say yes.
killed.
Do I have to understand that?
I'm going to say yes.
So that makes it my problem though.
No. If you're understanding what somebody feels like, is it really a problem or
No,
is it
I'm
just understanding?
I'm empathetic. I'm
Okay,
pretty
yeah.
much empath.
I feel like you do.
But here's the thing. So my father and my mother went through their whole life struggling to make sure that me and my sisters didn't have to worry about that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about that. But then if you meet somebody and that's their issue, then all of a sudden all the work that they did doesn't count or doesn't matter?
And this is just speaking for me. All the work that your parents did do 100% counts and matters because it really goes for how you raise yours up. But if you choose somebody that came from that type of pain, you have to be, as you said, empathetic to that person in order to assist them in their growth, which also assists you two in your growth. But that's just me.
And you know, to keep it 1,000%.
2,000. We like 2,000.
Yeah. She's pretty decently empathetic, okay, with me. Sometimes for no good reason. I'm just
20
so
years,
quick.
Jay. It's 20 years, though.
Sure. I'm so quick, though. Like, so the problem is sometimes I just get too quick, and then I'm always catching myself going, shit, I really didn't have to be all like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reaction first before thinking. So it says like instinct before realizing.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing because nobody understands you. Like, nobody.
But do you?
She doesn't.
I do, but I don't want to. I don't want to live like that.
So here's the thing, right? So like, she grew up on this in this little beach town. They don't even lock their doors, like Mayberry.
Yeah, but that don't mean
Can
nothing.
you imagine that?
That don't mean nothing.
No, I can't.
They
because
don't lock their doors.
When I first moved to Florida, people said, oh, we don't lock our car doors. I'm like, well, I do.
I lock my car door.
People said they don't lock their house doors, but I do. Because if you come in mine, and I always tell people, just make sure you come with a smiling face. Because if you come with negative energy, how you leave is how you chose to leave.
Yeah, you made a decision.
Yeah, but that's just me, ladies and gents.
I get it. So my problem is I grew up, I didn't have all the fresh gear, and I wasn't like the biggest dude, so I had to compensate by being one of the meanest dudes. And when you come up with that way, like, that sticks with you. You know how it goes. Yeah. Like, I was the most New York attitude of any Floridian around. That attitude is like, just don't even screw with me, just like leave me alone, right? So I struggle as an adult to not have that attitude. You know what I mean? And it's funny because, like,
corrective measures.
As a teacher, I've got the most patience and the most empathy, for all my students, it's just, it comes out, you know, like, it comes out sometimes.
It's funny you say this.
You know,
being a teacher, we seem to find room for, or give a lot more space for other people's personalities, but in the household, it's difficult.
Oh yeah.
Why? Why do you think that is the case?
I have an answer to that, and I've explained this to this one too. When I'm dealing with somebody that doesn't affect my day-to-day, it's way easier than when I deal with somebody that is affecting my day-to-day, right? So it's very easy. It's like I care, but I don't care mentality. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
But like, if I'm dealing with the dude with the dog, right, that came up, and I'm having a conversation with that person doesn't affect my income. That person doesn't affect my day-to-day. It doesn't affect, like, that dude is not going to tell me what I got to do.
So he's invisible to you.
But at the house,
it's more real.
That person is affecting my day-to-day. Therefore, my mentality is different.
Even that, because I see the way she's looking at you, and
I told her this before.
I was going to say swim, but this is the thing. That person is not real, so they don't really matter.
That's kind of a point.
What you are real. He has to sleep with you, wake up with you, come home, leave you, and come home to you, wash, rinse, repeat. So you are real. Listen, I'm going to say you're the only real reason why growth really happens. Because that man right there,
it's true.
He ain't nobody.
Yeah.
He ain't nobody, but you are everybody.
I'm giving that person the kind of like the surface level, but you getting the whole good, bad, and the ugly. So that's kind of how that works.
Look, she want to punch you in your eye. Don't get it.
We've been together a long time. I know the punch in the eye.
But you're right. It's hard. I will never understand what it's like to be a man, especially a man that comes from where you're from, and he likes to compare it to New York, which is like the hardest people in the world. Yeah, he's probably from Chicago, a hard place. Yeah, probably Chicago.
I don't want to know.
It's hard.
I don't want to know.
It's hard. I'm glad I don't have to know that. I don't have to know that.
We've heard quite a bit of the challenges for him as far as growing up and having to deal. What kind of challenges that he has had to chip away at in order to get your softer side or to help you grow?
I'm super complicated.
As a wife?
As a wife.
As a human.
I was going to say, if you're not being complicated as a wife, I mean, you got a boyfriend.
That's par for the course. That's par for the course.
Yeah.
We're talking about human now.
I have a lot of, I'm spontaneous. I have a lot of like ideas. I want to do this. I want to do that.
Why are you so complicated?
Probably because of my culture. You know, I speak a different language. I understand a different kind of culture.
What
I lived
language?
overseas.
What language do you speak?
I speak Turkish fluently. My mother's super eccentric. She's an older mom. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. And my mother married a black man. She didn't know nothing about black people, you know? And so I'm half black and half Turkish, which is a very different, rare mix. There's not a lot of those.
Have you ever been to Turkey?
I've been to Turkey. I lived a lot of my whole early childhood in Turkey. So I have a lot of knowledge. I have a lot of culture. And then I meet an American, everyday American.
Why got to be every day?
Because you are every day. You know, macaroni and cheese, eating.
It's true.
You know, it took a lifetime for him to
Chef
change his way. And then I had to
I was not cultured.
instead of, for instance, this is what I'm going to say. It wouldn't have to take a lifetime for somebody to grow. It took a lifetime for him to grow. I'm okay with that. But that's a lot of time where it could have been a lot easier, a lot smoother. It didn't have to take 20 years. It could have taken 5 years maybe.
The beauty's in the growth.
Well, that's it. I learned that now. I understand that now. At first, where I wasn't very understanding, I understand it now.
Because you're human. None of us are.
Yeah.
I mean, for me and my wife, it was like one of our biggest arguments, to tell you the truth, was about rice, on how we make rice.
I understand that.
And she made it a very different way than I did. And I'm like, you crazy. And I was 100% standing for, like, no, you crazy. This is how you're supposed to do it.
Yes.
Because of how I know my mother to do it. And
Right.
I say that because you guys being culturally different, culture, I believe, is one of the most difficult things to get through when two people of different cultures come together. Just culture, and you're just being who you know, who you've been raised to be. Not whether it's bad, not whether it's good.
So the rice is a euphemism for just culture, really. So it's not really about rice. It's just about...
Oh, at that point, that shit was about rice, yo. You better cook that shit away. No, that point, it was about rice. But, yes, but that rice, and even in looking back, it was more than the rice. And even how we prepare the rice so different, that type of stuff exposed itself in how my family's different and her family's different. And those interactions, and how my family sees how she maneuvers, and how her family thought I was crazy. Her mother's a pastor. My family ain't about that life at all. So they saw me as an aggressive drinker that's down for whatever, always ready to fight. I'm like, no, that's not really me. I mean, some parts of it is, you got the finger.
Always ready to
I was
fight.
like, oh, we got to hang out.
Always ready to fight.
I mean,
he's always ready to fight.
But it's a journey, and I'm
trying not to, though.
Exactly.
You know,
I try. I am definitely
like
one
as an
about backing
adult, you
down.
go-
It can lead to jail time.
Yeah, but I, as an adult, I should not do this.
Exactly. Let me
So I'm
teach.
constantly telling myself that. My default is like, oh, yeah, is that right? And then she doesn't understand that as much.
No, I don't like that.
But it is what it is. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you guys come together and raise children with the differences of cultures?
Oh, well, the good news is, so we've talked about like the struggles, but to be quite honest with you, can't speak for her, but I've always said the good outweighs the bad so much. I've always said that the good outweighs the bad by so much. But as soon as we ever get to a point where the bad outweighs the good, then we start, maybe we got to come up with some decisions.
We got to maneuver things differently.
Yeah, but specifically about kids, for me, I grew up in a single parent household. Never met my biological father. Grew up on welfare and just real street shit. Not any sob story stuff. That's just how it was.
No, just reality.
Just reality. And to be quite honest with you, most of my friends were in the exact same situation. So it didn't even seem weird. It's like, that's what happens.
And you know what's crazy? I hear a lot about that from Florida. Like people that are from Florida. I just hear like that is the reality. Just coming from real poverty. And I never thought of that.
It's not any worse thing where I don't think. It's just, but there's a lot of it. So in terms of raising kids, I kind of got my idea of what it is to be like a man, like a dad, was like from watching dads from maybe friends that I had that did have their dad around. Because I didn't have like that male role model. And that's the same that's the story that's an old, tired story where you grow up and you don't even know what it's like to be, you don't know what a father is supposed to be. You don't have that male role model. So that was me. So with our kids, I always was just like, I knew what I thought I wanted out of a dad, so I try to give that to my kids. I actually feel like I'm a better dad because I appreciate having a dad around so much. And I kind of grew up going, if I ever had kids, I ain't going to leave a lot of that. But she's like a very, very, very dope mom to have. So it was easy for me because anything that I might have been missing, she's such a good mom that our kids were taken care of. Like, so I was there.
Support. She was the real support.
For sure. And even though I talked a bunch of stuff about me being harsh, when it comes to my kids, I'm not harsh. Like, I'm too soft. I love them too much. I don't know. I guess it's one of those situations where, like, I try to overcompensate for, like,
Things
I think
that you
about,
didn't have.
I think about my situation. I try to overcompensate, and sometimes that you don't want to do that either because you need to raise them correctly.
Yeah.
But I do know without a doubt that our two kids, we put some good people out in the world.
You feel confident and comfortable.
Both our kids are real dope, good humans. We put a couple of good ones out there, so that was important. Thank you.
And that's what's up.
Our two kids are some solid humans that are open-minded, good folks, and like music and like art and culture. So that's all you could ever really hope to is like put some folks out in the world that are gonna do some good stuff. And hopefully, I think we did that. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's popping. Well, listen, I'm going to have to say, I don't even know what else to say. You guys have been an absolute blessing to the show.
Well, it's good talking to you,
It's
man.
good talking to you.
Yeah. It's an absolute blessing. We had some drinks on the low. Luckily, the cops ain't rolling
Hey,
on
this is
us.
Sprite.
Yeah. From Publix. And they have not yet supported the show either, but
They should.
they absolutely should. I was actually telling them, or we were talking about raising kids. And I mean, he said, you the real champ.
Aw.
Surely knew that.
No, I did not. We don't go around each other.
You didn't know you was the real MVP?
No, I don't know.
When it comes to raising our kids, you knew that you was the real MVP.
Okay.
See? That's all I was telling you.
It's hard for me. You know what I don't like to take? I don't take a lot of compliments very well. I kind of like give
Why?
it back to them. I don't know. It's just I'm a pleaser. My mom pleasing people. I don't take a lot of compliments very well.
Bro,
So
you called it a real MVP. She's a pleaser. I think you're going to have a good night. On that note, ladies and gents and ladies, once again, you are here talking sweet with SweetBaby Jay. Got these beautiful people here. I can't even remember the full government that she put out. I don't want anybody opening any credit cards in their names, but it's been an absolute blessing having you guys. Any last words to the masses that you would like to share?
shout out to Jay, SweetBaby Jay.
Holla.
Yeah,
It was a spontaneous thing, which I love. So it was like a blessing to
and
me.
I don't love.
No, he didn't love it, but I loved it.
I'm like, I don't know this dude. Why we sitting down?
No, my eyes lit up. I was like, what's going on over here?
Hey,
so
man.
it was great.
Now, I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you in a few weeks.
Well, we don't even got to wait that long. We'll see what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
That's about it.